This video talks about isosceles triangles, equilateral triangles, and what a perpendicular bisector is. So we'll start with isosceles triangles. They are triangles that have two congruent sides. We call these the legs, and usually they are the right and left side of the triangle. The third side, which does not have the same measure as these two sides, is called the base. And the angles that are formed at the bottom of this triangle are called base angles. So they are the angles at the base. They are equal to each other, as are these two legs. We say that the sides opposite the base angles are congruent. If we know the legs are congruent, the base angles are congruent. If we know the base angles are congruent, we know the legs are congruent. It's kind of a vice versa type thing. And then the last angle at the top is just called the vertex angle. It's the angle formed by the two legs. So these two legs form this vertex angle. In an equilateral triangle, we know that all three sides are congruent to each other and that all three angles are also congruent to each other. And if triangles angles add to 180 degrees and all three of them are equal, we would divide that out to find out that each angle is 60 degrees. If you know all three angles are 60, you know all three sides are congruent. If you know all three sides are congruent, then you know all three angles are congruent. Same deal with isosceles triangles. If you know one, then you know the other. And the last thing you need to know is a perpendicular bisector is when the vertex angle has a perpendicular bisector. Perpendicular means it forms a right angle with the base, and bisector means cuts it into two equal parts. So the vertex angle has been cut into two equal parts, and perpendicular means that the bisector forms a right angle with the base. Okay? Because it does that, it also cuts the base into two equal parts. So if you know you have a perpendicular bisector, you know three things to be true. You know that the vertex angle is cut into two equal pieces. You know that this bisector forms a right angle with the base, so you have two right angles. And you know that the base has been cut into two equal pieces. So perpendicular bisector tells you a lot about your triangles.